Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. What I'm going to try to do each week is come live to you with a little bit of information, some things that I get asked frequently, something that I hope can help you along your way in your journey. Today's is kind of impromptu. I have been talking a lot about nutrition with people. And you see a whole lot of fads, and unfortunately, I feel that when it comes to planning and prepping your nutrition, people find it extremely, extremely hard to do. And I totally get it. I remember the very beginning of my own health and fitness journey. I remember thinking, where am I going to get started? How am I going to do this? How am I going to prep for my family? It's a lot of feeling overwhelmed, but I want to encourage you to tell yourself you're not overwhelmed, very first and foremost, when it comes to planning, when it comes to prepping. You are simply learning, and each and every day getting a little bit better, each and every week getting a little bit better. And that is be optimistic about this experience. Don't let it scare you away, because what I have seen is that people will kind of go look for something that's easier because it's simply that, it's easier. And so that's where we start learning about fads. That's where we start trying other things and things like that. But if you saw my Instagram stories, if you're not following me at Carrie Tinsley 24 on Instagram, I went on my stories and I was talking about how, I get frequently asked about like the keto diet. I get frequently asked about, macros and counting carbs, counting calories, counting those macros, all the formulations to figure out exactly what you're supposed to eat and things like that. And I really, really feel like society has overcomplicated what we need. Because if you think back to how people used to eat, it was simply more of a need on eating when people need to eat, because, people didn't have an overabundance of what they need. There weren't options like we have in our store today. There weren't temptations like we have in our stores today. And so really people just ate what they could eat. People ate what they needed to eat. And generally, it was healthier stuff. Okay. Yes, you can overeat in healthy foods. That was one battle my husband and I went back and forth on, was he could eat fruit all day. And he told me that he was right. He could eat fruit all day. And really, it only got him to the point where his doctor told him he was high in potassium because he ate too many bananas every single day. And really, your body and what your body needs is different from the next person, because every single person's body is different. So when I frequently get asked, or people tell me they don't want to do the programs with me because they'd rather watch their carbs, it's just overthinking it. It's overthinking it. And yes, we want portion control, but with our container system, it's not so you're stressed about, overeating or undereating or counting calories and things like that. The system has been brought to you simply to simplify and not overcomplicate, like we are so good in our society at doing. So when you plan and use your containers and use that as your guide for the day, that is going to be, you just know I need 4 protein containers for that day. Okay, and then you have a list of a whole bunch of different foods to choose from that list. And it is simply just to keep things easy for you. It's not to have you count anything, because every single thing that you put in those containers is going to get you exactly what your body needs in macronutrients for that day. And how you use your container system is really set up for what goals you're looking to meet. So you have that kind of general bracket. So like for me to be in weight loss mode, if I want to lose pounds, then I am going to be eating on plan A. okay? If I personally, because it's just facts. It's just facts. If you want to lose weight, you have to lower your calories. It doesn't mean that, and I'll kind of give you an example here in just a little bit about what I mean. If you're eating at a deficit, you're going to lose weight. But the problem is what you do eat, if you're eating at a deficit or if you're trying to maintain, matters, because you're not going to lose weight as fast. You're not going to function optimally if your body and everything, it's a machine. Your body is a machine. So if your body is not all working together and working optimally, I'm like, what did I just say? Then you're not probably going to reach your goals as fast. Like, this is all just if you sit back and think about it. So this portion control container system is not to overcomplicate things. It's really to simplify things for you. So I encourage you to take your time with it, allow it to be a lifestyle, because eventually, like, there are times where I don't even have to measure out, with the containers, because I can eyeball it now and know that about what a green container of veggies would be, and know exactly how much my body needs. But that's because I gave it time. I'm 3 years into this, and like I said, if I wanted to lose weight, I would drop down to plan A, but I always eat on plan B because I like food. So like I said, I'm quite fine where I am. That doesn't mean that I can't tone up or, lean out, but it's all going to come from our how hard we push ourselves in our workouts and how we eat. So kind of back to my starting point was, people ask about what I think about the keto diet. People ask about macronutrients, and I tell you that is just an overcomplicated way of doing what you're supposed to be doing anyways. And using the portion control system is going to help you balance it out. So literally your organs and your machine of a body is running and working all together at its best, okay? And that comes from everything from drinking enough water, learning about your body, and knowing that, your very first month might not be your best month. It's going to be a stepping stone to learning a lifestyle. So it might take you 2 months, 3 months to really get it. It might take you 2 years, but as long as you're working to get a little bit better each time, that is the point, okay? And the point that you're really truly educating yourself on it all and understanding in order to truly be your healthiest self, okay? And really analyzing what are your goals for that month, so if you are looking to lose weight in the month of December, then that means you probably need to subtract and burn, make sure you're burning calories each day through your workouts, but you need to subtract the amount of caloric intake, okay? So I'm going to get to some of my other frequently asked questions, but that is my opinion on the other kind of fad things going on, the keto stuff like that, and not to bash it all, but our portion control container system is strictly scientific. It's scientific. It deals with your calories and your macros without you having to stress about it, without you having to think, oh, I'm short 100 calories today, or I went over 100 calories today, or my macros are all messed up. It is very, very scientific. When I went through the test group in 80-Day Obsession, I worked with scientists, I worked with doctors, I worked with exercise specialists, I worked with registered dietitians, nutritionists. They all come together to formulate these programs to make them work so you get the best results. So it's not like, Autumn, just a personal trainer, just created all of this, because, and I'm gonna be quite honest with you as well, a lot of doctors, very, very few of them are specialists in nutrition. So I know that a lot of times we think, oh, we are the doctor, they tell us we need to eat right. That's just common knowledge, okay? It's nothing that they really learned unless they took the additional nutrition or dietary classes. So that's just common sense, I think, when you go to the doctor and the doctor says you need to eat better, okay? When your doctor says you need to eat better, it doesn't mean that you need to drop your calories to 500 because that's going to make you lose weight and then all of a sudden your heart's going to be healthier. So what I mean by that is, like, I used to do that. So I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit of a story of what I used to do nutritionally. Is I thought I needed to lose weight. So I said, okay, I'm going to only have 500 calories a day, and I am going to work out every day and burn more than that. So I obviously was going to lose weight, okay? Because I was basically starving myself, because when you're at a deficit, you're going to lose weight. If you're burning more, let's just say first, if you're eating less than what you normally eat calorie wise, then yes, you're going to lose weight, okay? Just from that simple change, okay? But also, if you're eating less and burning even more calories, then yes, you are also going to lose weight. That is just, you don't have to read a book for that, okay? But I feel like, a lot of people post on social media, and it's so great for them that they're losing 35 pounds or whatever in a month or 2 months or 3 months. That's wonderful if that's what they really want. But my main concern for everybody is truly that you get lasting results and you truly educate yourself on what your body needs, because what matters is really what's inside. So I know that some of you have underlying health issues, and losing weight might help the side effects maybe of your underlying health issues, but ultimately I want you to take care of your insides, okay? And that's going to start with your nutrition and how you fuel your body. And ultimately, for me personally, I want to be around for a very, very long time. I don't want a bad heart due to constantly eating fast food my whole life, or whatever it is, like all the, the things that can happen from a very, very poor diet. I don't want that to happen to me. And I don't want my kids to grow up seeing that happen to me and ultimately be how they end up as well. So I really want you to develop a healthier relationship with food, okay? You know what you need to know. You know that you need to eat healthy. You know that in order to lose weight, you need to eat healthy. You know that eating healthy is better for you. You know that it's going to, all that stuff. So now what I want you to look at is this portion control container system, or the 2B mindset, if that's the route you're going, because you're struggling with even dealing with thinking about the idea of having 4 red containers, and you're like, oh, that's numbers, I don't like that, I don't like counting things. Then you need the 2B mindset, because that's where a mind shift needs to happen, where the food is not your enemy, okay? Where the food is your fuel and the food is not your enemy. So I did kind of go off on a little bit of a tangent there, and I shared a little bit of my thoughts in my Instagram and Facebook stories, just to kind of see what other people thought. So I wanted to come to you live and share all of that with you, and tell you that I did get asked a couple questions I have not responded to on my Instagram stories. But one question that I got, because I opened it up for questions for my viewers on my stories, was, does it matter if you don't eat veggies every single day? And veggies, as much as you hear about people hating them all the time, veggies, if you tell yourself you hate veggies and you won't eat veggies, that's your reality. But what I have learned is being optimistic, like I said earlier, and being able to try new vegetables has been very, very eye-opening for me the last 3 years. And even trying vegetables that I thought I didn't like and cooking them or preparing them in a different way has been very, very eye-opening for me. So for example, I did the Ultimate Reset, and one of the recipes on the Ultimate Reset was beets. And I thought I hated beets. I told myself, I got to figure something else out because I hate beets. And ultimately, I really thought about it, and I was like, I maybe only tried them once or twice, but I told myself that long ago that I hated them. So I've never had them again. That's a mindset thing. So then I decided, you know what? Everything I've had that I've made correctly, I've actually liked, or I've been able to hide things that have the nutritional value that I didn't necessarily like one way. I didn't know I liked butternut squash for a very long time. My kids refuse to eat butternut. Sorry, I just thought I heard my son scream. My kids refuse to eat butternut squash if you put that in front of them, but I blend it into my kids macaroni. And so it's part of the cheese sauce. And so they'd never know, but they get the nutritional value from that butternut squash. And they don't even realize it. So there are ways that you can incorporate things into your diet, like vegetables. A lot of my challengers also, there is a Power Greens that they add into their shakes, or they put spinach into their shakes, but the Power Greens are literally just like a little tiny scoop of powder, and it's like putting vegetables in your shake without buying all the vegetables. You just get this little canister of Power Greens. You add two scoops into your shake, and that's one serving of veggies for the day. So if you're struggling with getting your veggies in during the day, it's something to look at. I mean, yes, you do have to buy it, but yes, you also have to buy the food. So if you're going to have it go bad and not put it into your shake, or you can taste it into your shake, which a lot of people can't taste, like veggies or spinach or kale into your shake when you blend it in, then that's one option you could go. So veggies are extremely, extremely important. The nutritional value is actually something that fights off, research has shown that, it plays an overall part in being healthy, having a healthy gut. And some people claim that it protects against like the nutrients and things and the goodness, all of the goodness within your fruits and your vegetables. They actually protect against certain cancers. But like I said, you can overdo it. So that's why your portion control and knowing what your body needs comes into part. There are very, if you have heart issues or anything like that, there are certain fruits, certain veggies, certain foods that are heart healthy. And so there are things that could improve the health of your heart. Obviously there's a whole bunch of vitamins, minerals, folate, vitamin C, all that stuff in your potassium in your fruits and veggies. But there's also that fiber within your fruits and veggies that you need in your diet. Okay, so having like a higher, turn up this, there we go. A higher diet, a higher fiber diet can also aid in or prevent bowel cancer. Okay, so there's a lot of reasons why energy level, there are good carbs within, there's not a lot, but there's good carbs within your healthy foods that give you energy. That's going to, your body's going to digest them, kind of store them away and use them rather than just store the bad carbs away and then have them turn into fat, and then they just stay there, and then it's really hard to burn off. Like the good carbs in your body are really going to help with your energy levels. So when you're under eating, it's going to play a part in your results. So I know that if you were in my prep group or if you watched how I make my shake, the benefits of your shake, and I'm just going to briefly touch on this, it's going to have to do with, how your body is optimally. But I made that post the other day, like if you bought all of the ingredients separately for one shake that you can get for like about $4 a day, it would cost about 40 some dollars. So I know people think, and I used to do this too, I'm going to go blend a whole bunch of veggies, a whole bunch of fruit together with some ice and water and milk and get the same results or get the same benefits. And that's absolutely not true because of the superfoods within it. You could never, I can't even find all the ingredients or have access to all the ingredients that are in your shake. So when you're eating at a deficit, you're not getting like if you were to eat perfectly all day, you're going to get a great amount of vitamins, nutrients, vegetables, but you're going to be eating way more calories, which we know is not going to have you eat at a deficit. So if you're looking at losing weight, eating more is, even if it's good food, it's not going to help you reach those goals. So that's where your shake comes in. If you're eating at a deficit and you have a shake, it's kind of like you might be eating at a deficit. So you're eating less calories, or and so you're going to lose weight, but then you're missing out on all of the goodness that the good foods would have provided for your body. So that's where your shake comes in and replenishes those. So that's why it's really, really, really important. Let me see here. What was the other thing I was gonna? But I could go on and on about that shake because I used to be such a skeptic, and now I'm like I actually get annoyed with my family if they don't drink it. But you just have some of those people in your family that just don't want to support you. But I would give this to them. I would give them the shake. Like, they wouldn't have to pay for it. Like, that's how bad I want my family to drink it, because I know how beneficial and good it is. And it's totally changed my digestion around. So I could get off on that, but just be sure to reach out and ask questions if you have anything on the shake. And honestly, I want everybody to save money. So if you're not set up on the 25% discount, let me know, or reach out to your coach. I also got another question on Instagram about what are your thoughts about people not eating past a certain time. I think that is honestly, like, there's a lot of research and there's a lot of people that say one way or the other, not to eat after 6, not to eat after 8, but I think everybody's body is different. Everybody's schedule is different. So I honestly personally don't think there's any right or wrong answer. I do personally think from my own experience that eating too late does cause bloat because I'm not as active. So for the next day, I feel a little bit more bloated. I do personally believe in intermittent fasting, but it doesn't mean that I don't eat all my containers. So I know some people, we all intermittent, unless you're my father-in-law who eats during the middle of the night when he's asleep. We are all intermittent fasters. It's hard to say, because we go so long each night without eating. So, I'm okay with, waiting an hour or two after I wake up, or 2, 3, or 4 hours after I wake up, because ultimately I wake up about 3:30 whenever I can, 4 o'clock, just because that's the only time I get things done. So eating at that time, I don't need to eat honestly until I feel hungry. Like, I could wait until lunch if I wanted to. But the only problem is you have to do what's right for your body, because if you wait that long and then you just start binge eating because you get so hungry, then that's where the problem comes in. So that's why it's recommended to eat a healthy breakfast, because then you will not feel the need to binge eat, snack throughout the day. But I do believe that it's good for your body to go hours at a time without food. But I do also think that when that happens, you realize that your body is becoming dehydrated. And so it's really, really important in the morning to, even before you drink your coffee, to have a good 16 ounces or so of water, because your body has dehydrated. And a lot of hydration also comes from the foods you eat. So if you haven't eaten, and you haven't had any veggies, you haven't had any food that has, water within it, then your body is, you dehydrate yourself. So it's okay to have water, but I do believe that, going periods of time without eating, I don't recommend honestly going multiple days. There are people that I see on Instagram that water fast, and that's another fad. Don't even do it. Don't do that to yourself. Like, people are going 23 days with just drinking water. That's torture. That is what I would call hating myself. Like, that's what, me personally, if I did that, that would be really bad. Like, but that's why this has been successful for me, because I allowed myself to be optimistic. I allowed myself to try new things. I allowed myself to have fun with trying new things, and to educate myself. And so that is when you are going to be successful with your nutrition. So I wanted to share some of those questions that I got, how I feel about it. And, like I said, I'm not here to bash keto. I'm not here to bash people who do macros, count calories, whatever. But I know that it's a huge mindset thing. And I feel like society has overcomplicated it. And with this portion control, clean eating system, it it just takes it just simplifies it all for you, and it helps you reach your goals, because then it plays into effect like what workouts you're doing, how you're being active, how you're burning calories. But it has allowed me to step away from worrying about how many calories are in what I eat. And last but not least, like I said, I used to have 500 calories a day, but what I did was, if I wanted those 500 calories to be in Cheez-Its, then I ate those 500 calories in Cheez-Its, which really is only a few Cheez-Its anyways. And then that's what I had for the day. But it literally the bad stuff was like storing in my body, because I was starving myself, and my body was like, store what you can. And it wasn't good foods, it was processed food. So it was like being turned into fat. Like, I mean, even though there really wasn't much, because I was starving myself. So, but I felt lethargic because I had no good nutrition coming in, and my body was not able to exert energy that it needed. So it's a lot different. I think I did a post a few months ago about, I held up like a whole big bowl of zoodles, like this big, next to like a cup. It was like a huge bowl of zoodles, so zucchini noodles, right next to a cup of whole wheat noodles, which is still, it's healthy. It's healthier than, you know, the white regular noodles, but you can have a whole lot more of good stuff and equal the same amount of calories of something not as healthy. Okay. So, so I could have, what was it? I feel like there was one thing, like if you could have like a thing of fries from McDonald's, like a small thing of fries from McDonald's, I believe it was that I read, and a whole full watermelon, and it equal the same amount of calories. Like, that's crazy. So I know hopefully that this, you know, kind of this Words of Wisdom Wednesday was helpful for you. Hopefully I answered a couple of the questions, gave you some things to think about, but like I said, not bashing anybody, you know, that likes to go that route. I just want to save you a lot of what I went through, and that's why I'm here, and that's why I do what I do. And that's what I've learned throughout time, and I continue to learn, and I will always continue to learn. Like intermittent fasting is another thing that I am going to read and research more on, because like I said, like you could still be an intermittent faster and still use your containers for the day. You're still getting in what your body needs for that day. It just might be in a shorter amount of time. So, all right, guys, 28 minutes in. I apologize. Thank you. I hope that you guys got your workout in. You've logged your workouts. You have done well with your nutrition, done well with your water, drank your shake, and that you are providing some support and positivity in this group and having a great day. So I will talk to you very soon.